Okay, hello. This is Mr. Chesser. I've found that a lot of people are having some trouble with one of the assignments. It's called Earth's Early Atmosphere. And it is a somewhat poorly written assignment, to be honest. So I've had to help people out with this in the past a little bit. So I thought I'd add a supplemental here. The Zoom instructions just aren't, sorry, the Buzz instructions just aren't completely clear to everybody. So this is going to help you out. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you so you can see my desktop. And you should be able to see that. So we have Earth's early atmosphere here. And I'm going to jump to the end so we can actually look at the assignment, because that's where people seem to be having problems. Of course, you're going to need to read through the whole thing before you try this stuff. Down at the bottom, you're going to see there's an assignment. And I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And here's the assignment. And the problem I think people have mostly is with this question 3. It says you need to complete the chart and the reflection to your instructor. And then it says human versus blank, number of differences in the amino acid sequence. Okay, that's the part that throws people, and this is what it's asking you to do. There's this chart, amino acid sequences in cytochrome C proteins. You're going to click on that, and it's going to open up this chart, okay? Cytochrome C is a type of protein that lots of organisms have, and proteins are made up of some things called amino acids. Those amino acids have to be particular ones, and they have to be lined up in a particular order in order to make any particular protein. This is actually what your DNA does, which we're going to be learning in a later chapter. So if you look at human/chimpanzee, for example, you're going to see a bunch of blanks, 1 through 8 are blank, and then starting at number 9, there's a G, there's a D, there's a V, there's an E, there's a K, etc. Those letters are representing different amino acids that we're aware of, that we know about, that make up this protein. You can see they continue on in this line. As you go down the chart, you're going to see rhesus monkey, horse, donkey, common zebra, and each of them have their own sequence that make up one of these cytochrome C type of proteins. But their amino acid sequences are slightly different. If you look at them and compare, you're going to notice that some of them have different letters. That's what this is trying to show. It's trying to show you that if these have different sequences of amino acids, then that means that these organisms used different DNA coding to line those sequences of amino acids up. This is literally what your DNA does. It is a blueprint for lining amino acids up in a particular order to make particular types of proteins. So I'm going to show you a quick trick for this that I think is way faster and better to do this assignment. First, I want you to highlight everything all the way from the top corner, top left to the bottom right, and then copy that. I use Control-C. You could also right-click and do copy. Once you've copied that, I'm going to minimize that, and I'm going to make a new Excel worksheet. It's going to pop up in just a second. I'm going to call it Earth's Early Atmosphere Chart, because that's what we're about to make. And then I'm going to open that up. And here that is. And then I'm going to paste what I copied into here. So if you take a look at that, you're going to see that same sequence. Now here's the tricky part. Or the thing that's the reason we're doing this. In Excel, if you go to View, you can do this thing called Freeze Panes, and you can freeze some rows. So that's freezing the top row, and now if I scroll through, you can see the top row stays, everything else scrolls. The top row doesn't do us much good here, so I'm actually going to delete it. If you click on the number 1 over here, if you right-click on it, you can choose Delete. You can delete that whole row. Now, the top row is this one that says human and chimpanzee. And that's actually the row we want to compare everything else to. So it's the one you want to freeze. You see the G, D, V, E, K, G, K across the top, and I'm going to scroll over a little bit so you can see more of it. And if we look and compare every letter from the human to the rhesus monkey, I'm going to give you an answer here, you'll find out that there are 0 differences. All the letters are exactly the same in the same order, okay? But if you scroll down a row, and you put horse comparison with human chimpanzee, as we go across, and I'll just scroll across, you will eventually see that over here on column T, where there's an I for humans and chimps, there's a V for horses. This means that their cytochrome C protein is different than ours, because in that location, there's a different amino acid, okay? That's what it's trying to get you to do, is see how many differences there are. So that's one difference. And if we counted through the horse, I believe the number of differences is 3. You should go through and count it yourself. So this is what you need to do on the chart. I'm going to go back to the assignment now. In the assignment, we're going to close this chart. Down here, you're going to put human versus rhesus monkey, and you can just leave these as a list, and you're going to put a number out here. How many differences are there? It turns out with a rhesus monkey, there are 0 differences. With a horse, I think it's 3. With a donkey, it'll be some other number maybe. And you're going to tell me the number of differences between a human or a chimpanzee, which they have identical ones, and each one of these different organisms. What this is going to tell us is that how much difference the genetic code is for this particular protein. And this is actually true for all of the genetic codes. The difference in species is the different kinds of proteins that they make, and those different proteins are coded for by their DNA. So I hope that helps. You're going to do all those and make that chart and put all those numbers in, and then after that, you'll answer these questions down below. It says to make a paragraph. It's okay with me if you want to do it like we normally do it in my class and just answer the questions beneath each, put your answers beneath each question, changing the font like we do and how to turn stuff in. Please do answer in complete sentences though. If you still are having trouble, let me know. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen now, and have a great weekend.